Bottom left of the map, the last map in the best of 3, Frost. We have the Protoss player for Jin Air Green Wings.
Jin Air Green Wings Pigbaby.
The Pigbaby slowly but steadily evolving into a Wildborn, taking down opponents. And the Terran player, he experienced that in game number 2. Game number 3, he has a chance to go to the Premier League as well, though. Starting to the bottom right, we have the Samsung Galaxy.
Samsung Galaxy Reality.
Is he the Razorfen Hunter? So we'll find out. Both of these guys with pretty cool keyboards. Notice on Pigbaby's keyboard he has only places where he has colors on his arrow keys, on his, I don't know what they call that row with like caps lock, thumb lock, or that area at the top. And he's also got on WASD, like the first person shooter area, he's got those keys colored as well. So pretty cool. I like that. And actually, we're going to have a CC first here, again, for reality. He's just sticking to his gun, saying, like, alright, Pigbaby's got to change things up eventually. He's not going to always aggressively attack me, and it's a 4-player map.
Yeah, with the keyboards, they actually have a lot of players that use the keycaps to highlight the hotkeys that they use, and some of them just want to make the keyboard a little bit more pretty. Like these days you have in hotkeys in general, there's like the trend to make sure that right from the start you have like hotkeys that make sense. So grid, for example, in Starcraft, and like similar things in MOBAs that you can play. To me, that's actually sometimes really like frustrating, because like I'm used to certain key setups where like the keys are like scattered across the entire keyboard. That makes sense. And I feel the best example is like when you, I mean, with Starcraft you start with standard and then you can go into grid if you want. But let's pick a game where it was different. Let's say, for example, the change from Dota 1 to Dota 2. In Dota 1 you had the hotkeys, and a lot of the hotkeys corresponded to the hotkeys that would be used in Warcraft 3. Yeah. So you're used to them. And then if you go into the second game, which is then Dota, they already use like the hotkeys a lot of players use, like the grid combination. And every single time I would press them, like, can I just somehow get my standard keys back? It's like always so frustrating. And you can see that with other players too. I think Flash was it at the beginning, who had also a few problems because he had to adjust his keys, and he was so used from Brood War to just press different keys for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you press M for Marine all your life, you know, you're gonna have some trouble pressing A. I know what you mean about Dota, because like the Warcraft 3 controls are similar to Starcraft controls. I never really played Warcraft 3 a lot, so for me, like, it was hard to adjust some of the different things there. But this probe is actually going to come right into the main base. Just to kind of close things out about hotkeys, like I feel like I wish I learned grid first, because I think grid is definitely the best, but like it's too late for us.
If you learn grid first, I think it's the thing that makes the most sense. But I have really huge hands, so I have no problem like going across the entire keyboard and using, for example, the entire number row. So it's always really weird to me when suddenly everything is like neatly attached to the left side. And there are a lot of like projects that actually deal just with hotkey optimization. And it's really, I think the Core is one of the most well known. They actually put so much thought into how you can optimize your Starcraft hotkeys, that you have like several things on one hotkeys depending on the situation, so that they never actually like interact with each other, but that it makes much more intuitive for you to use something.
Like, for example, E is like used very commonly.
And if you're a player, you know, who learns the game like from scratch, then it's like so cool for you to use that. But players that have been doing something for years will most likely just go back and start to like spread the keys out across on the keyboard again, because they're like, I can't get rid of it. It's like already automated motion for me to go to that. And this is, by the way, also a little bit automated. If you need a Stalker on the high ground, low ground situation with 5 Marines, the Stalker is going to bite the dust, and Pigbaby not only losing his early scouting on the game, but also a lot of the momentum that he wants to build up here.
He's actually going for a hidden third base again on this map. It worked well from in game 1 with a very different situation, but never want to walk up the ramp like that.
This time it's definitely a different situation for him. I mean, in game number 1 he could do it because his opponent was in a bad spot and didn't really have the power on the map, but this time he's taking a more calculated risk than he already did in game number 2.
Yeah, for sure. And the Reaper here might see it. I think this Reaper is not a mistake. I think he's actually using it to go and find out what the tech is, because against Pigbaby, he's got a choice. He's like, well, I could scan his main, but what if he makes all of his gateways as natural or something? I'm actually just going to send a Reaper in, because Pigbaby could actually be making 8 gateways right now to do some all-in that doesn't even make sense, but he's going to kill me with it. The Reaper goes in the right direction to see the base on his way back down, too.
This is pretty much the same build that Pigbaby went for in game number 2 after his initial pressure. The same, it's exactly the same structure. Twilight Council and Forge, +1 attack upgrade, maybe even now coming into play that cannon that he built at the third base, depending on how safe he wants to play it. But the Blink comes in, and he is relying on the gateways again, so exactly the same MO that he showed us in game number 2, and it worked really well for him.
Yeah. I like that, actually. You called it MO. It's got to be used more often.
Well, I mean, for him it makes sense here.
Yeah.
He had great success with it in game number 2. It worked really well, and it didn't really look like Reality knew how to handle that. And now Pigbaby does the same thing, and why not? He was already successful with it. He can go into a really... Look how gateway heavy he is here.
Yeah.
This is like crazy.
This is like how Parting used to play this matchup.
Yeah.
It really looks like Parting is there. I have to say, now that this is known about, though, Reality has a lot more options than he did in game number 2, and he has Stim finishing up, and I think actually you might want to go with that. Combat Shields won't finish during the attack, +1's going to finish kind of during the attack. I think moving out here and trying to put some pressure on would be good for him. If he just lets it go, and all these upgrades continue, and he lets him get that Blink Stalker composition, which, like I said before, is only good if you can have these 6 gases up so fast, and you can make so many overwhelming amounts of Blink Stalkers and have that attack upgrade to kill the Marauders, kill the Medivacs. It's good, but he's actually just going to let it go, and I'm a little bit shocked by this.
Yeah, the problem really is not only that he gets this upgrade composition and the unit composition, it's that third base.
Yeah.
I mean, the third base is absolutely uncontested, and we do not see a third CC for Reality. So I feel the only thing that he can really do if he wants to prevail in the long run is to just move out and put a massive amount of pressure on his opponent. He will never catch up in an economy like this.
But I think there's already too much production, too many units. Like
the army supply is still in favor of the Terran player, yes, but that's going to change very soon.
Like 2 Warpins is going to change that. And look how small this army looks now compared to all the Stalkers that he can blink, because Blink is going to be done. And he's even opening this up, which I really, really like. So he can actually have a little bit more area to work with.
Reality has to do damage now. If
he has to do a
not
ton
have
of damage.
a third command center in this situation, no third base, no third mule available, you need to do something. And there is a pylon already spotting for potential, not only a third, but also trying to find out if he can maybe warp in a couple of zealots and run them into the natural.
I feel like he's putting those pylons there saying, or we're going to have the same situation that happened last game. You're going to attack me, I'm going to hold, and then I'm going to counterattack you and win the game. He's already set 3 pylons for the counterattack.
Well, the army supply is still better for Reality.
This makes a lot of sense.
The SCV is like, yeah, we said it before, without a third CC, it's the only thing that he can do. He needs to go for it, and that's what he does. So let's see if Pigbaby has the micro and the unit control that it takes to hold this push, because that's not going to be easy. But if he holds this, he wins the game.
Where's the Mothership Core? That's what I want to know. Good targeting here on the Marauders. The Blink Micro is good as well here. No Guardian Shield, and here goes the Mothership Core, but it's using the overcharge on the wrong Nexus, because it's going all the way for the kill here at the natural.
Pigbaby is losing too much already. He's dropping down to 30 supply, and Reality identifying that he's up against the same villain says, like, not a second time, my friend. Moving in, taking down that Nexus, and now he can just go into the natural if he wants to. The +2 attack upgrade was not done yet, neither was the charge. More and more gateways coming into the game. The problem is he does not have the income anymore to really work with all those gateways. He does not have the income to sustain this production.
No, he does not, and Temple Archives is done, so he can use a few Archons in his mix if he wants to, and actually, honestly, Reality could walk home now with this. He killed enough units, he saw the composition, but he's not going to walk home. Goes for it here. The Stalker's on the high ground. Charge is done. +2 is done. But this is just way too much bio. This is how this Blink Stalker composition is supposed to work against bio. It isn't. So there you have it. GG.
Marine Marauder Medivac just making their way into the natural and the main base. And Reality just saying, not a second time, my friend. Game number 2 is going to go to me. I'm not going to take a third base. I don't need to. I will just hit you with SCVs, with the Pain Train, and I'm going for an all-out attack. Takes the game, takes the series, advances to the Premier League. Pigbaby showing us very entertaining matches today, but he will have to play in the Challenger League in 2014.
The Reaper was really a game winner in a lot of ways for Reality. Just making that, just saying, all right, you're Pigbaby, you could be doing anything. I got to check things out. He sees the third base, hits a really nice timing, and
yeah, and if you saw once, the deciding game was game number 1, where we had both of them with the cheese, but Terran buildings, they can fly.
Yeah.
And that kind of won Reality the game. So Reality goes to the Premier League. He is the second player today who advances to the Premier League, which means that we also have 2 more best of 3s for you.
And they're going to be epic.
Exactly.
First of all, we're going to have Coca versus Flash. That's going to be our next best of 3, so spread the word. Flash, probably one of the most famous players in all time, not just in Starcraft, but in esports, up against Koka, somebody who's a big fan favorite, one of the best Zergs when he retired temporarily.
And then later on, we're going to have Super versus Live in the last best of 3 of the day. So after 5 minutes, we are back with our Terran versus Zerg. See you guys in a few.